And we're back to GreedFall. This is Jewel Smith, Gen X gamer mom, writer, and crafter. You can find out more about me if you want to at patreon.com/JewelSmith. I have channels on Twitch and on YouTube. I'm also on Twitter, AO3, and have other stuff going on. Links are over there on Patreon. I am pretty far into this game. I suspect I'm at least 2/3 of the way through, maybe 3/4. And I've finally started unlocking some quests that had been eluding me for a long time. So I'm catching up on those. We had to rescue some native people and some naughts from being used in experiments. Alright, we picked up an executioner's axe. I gotta go give that to Kurt, who I romanced yesterday, finally. Been waiting through the whole dang game. Right at the very beginning of the game, when I tried to have a conversation with him, there was this conversation option where I could kind of flirt with him or proposition him or something. And he was like, "Oh, it is inappropriate, my lady," or something. And I was just like, alright. And then I keep waiting and waiting and waiting to unlock all of his quests so that we can, get busy. But it finally happened yesterday. So I am now in a loving relationship with Kurt. I'm on nice terms with Petrus and Ciora, friendly terms with Afra and Vasco. So I guess I think we still have to bury Ciora's mother, and Petrus still has some stuff going on, I suppose. The Coin Guard and the Naughts are still suspicious of me. Screw the Coin Guard. I don't know why they're still suspicious. I mean, I'm the one who's suspicious of them because they tried to overthrow the government in all of the cities in Tier 4D. And I have no idea what to do with the Naughts. But since we just rescued some Naughts yesterday, maybe we can go back and talk to the Admiral and I'll get some positive interactions with them. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, Dr. Asili. That's the guy who was doing the experiments on people. Right, so we were here. We were talking to the governor of Hikmet. I think we're done talking to him. Now we have to go to the trial of Dr. Asili. And then I'll have to go do the sins of Father Petrus. And I still have some main quests to do here. Hello, Silver Fox! How's your Saturday? Is it time to walk the dogs yet? I really want to go back to New Serene and talk to the Naught Admiral lady. But let's go ahead and do the trial stuff since we're right here in Hikmet and that's what's next. It says we have to help the attorney. So let's go do that. I have Afra and Ciora with me because this quest I've been doing involves the Bridge Alliance, which Afra represents, and it involves the natives, which Ciora represents. But I'm wondering if I should take Vasco because some Naughts were involved as well. I want to keep Afra with me. She was Dr. Asili's student at some point in time, so she probably has some things to say at the trial. I guess I'll keep Ciora with me since she can speak for the natives. Maybe that'll be important. It does seem to matter in this game who you have with you when you do various quests, because I accidentally took Afra with me to do a Bridge Alliance, I'm sorry, a Teleme thing over in San Mateus, and she kind of screwed it up for me. And I had to reload and leave her butt at home and take Petrus instead because he's the Teleme representative. So yeah, if you take the wrong people, in the wrong areas, then you can screw up the quest you're trying to do. Where is my house? I think my house is down here. No? Where's my house? Oh, my house is over there. I'm going down the wrong road. I want to go see if Kurt can use this axe. Or how it compares to the fancy sword he's got. Did I go past my house again? I do that every time I come to this city. I run right past my house. There it is. Kurt, I found you an axe. Oh, he can't use the axe. That's unfortunate. Yeah, it shows up here for me. Two-handed heavy weapon. Strength of 5. But it doesn't show up for Kurt. He only had the cutlass. I wonder why. I mean, because I'm pretty sure this is exactly like the one that we saw at the blacksmith's or somewhere I was going to buy for him. Oh, well. I guess we'll just store it with all the other weapons that we have. It's a quality 100 too, but it's not in gold, it's purple. Alright, well, we'll do that. We can sell the rest of this junk, I think. And this is the unique legendary outfit that we found for Afra while doing the quest yesterday. Finally, I've been waiting to get it through the whole game. But it's not as good as what she's got here. The quality's not even as good. And even if I improved it, there are slots there to upgrade it. Even if I upgraded it, I don't think it would get as good as this one. So we're just going to leave her in that one. And we'll just put this one in the box of special junk. Do I already have... Sometimes you need costumes in this game. Maybe I should hang on to some of these guards' clothing in case I need a costume. A disguise, I should say. He could use some new boots, though. Anything worth giving to him? Not really. All right. Let's go see a merchant. There was an alchemist up here. I think we can sell junk to anybody. I don't know. It's not like some games where you can only sell certain things to certain merchants.
What can I...
I think we can sell anything to him. Ooh, I'm back up over 1,000 gold again. Now maybe I can afford to fix up some of Vasco's gear. Hey, Stella! Welcome to the chat room. Silver Fox, yes, was out in the village with the dogs. Aw. Did I see an eye patch? Stella says. I don't think so. I don't think any of us have eye patches. But Vasco definitely looks like a pirate.
I was honored by your visit. Please, come back whenever you want.
Okay. I will. Alright, let's go see if we can find the attorney. I guess we're not going directly to the trial. I finally have the Bridge Alliance on nice terms with me, so maybe after the trial I'll be even better. I'll be on friendly terms. Well, where is the attorney? The prosecutor's office. How are we going to get in there? Looks like we're going to hang a right and go through here all the way to the end and then come around here. All right, let's try that. Winding around through the streets of the city. At least it's daytime. We shouldn't have to fight too many bandits in dark alleys. Was that guy taking a whiz? He is! We found the PP Street in Hikmet. There's one in New Serene that we've already found. Where everyone likes to go and drain the main vein. Hello? Are you a cutscene?
To whom do I have the honor of speaking?
No, just a conversation.
I'm the legate of the merchant congregation. Governor Burren told me to pay you a visit.
Oh, it is you who arrested Dr. Asili and must help me prepare the trial.
Exactly.
Excellent. We will have lots to do if we want the doctor to pay for his crimes. The accused has a lot of support. Any evidence and testimonies you can gather will be useful.
We'll have no problem gathering witnesses. His laboratory cells were full of them.
We will call them to the witness box, of course. But be aware that if the victims are natives, their words will unfortunately not carry much weight here.
There were also some Nauts. Perhaps I can also convince some of the doctor's colleagues to talk.
Their testimony will be crucial. The word of other scholars is likely to be the only thing that condemns him. That plus any material evidence you can gather.
Like
I picked
his
up a
notes?
strange powder in the laboratory. A substance that I've not been able to identify.
Didn't we
You
find
should show
his
it to an
notes?
alchemist. We need to know what it is to be able to use it.
These documents describe
it's a lot of
Dr.
legwork.
Asili's work. as well as the horrible experiments he was performing.
Okay, yeah,
Perfect.
okay, we gave her
I
documents.
will read them in detail. We will no doubt find something to support my prosecution.
I have found a letter proving that Dr. Asili voluntarily transmitted the Malachor to
There
my
you
cousin,
go.
Constantin d'Orsay. I would like to add that I too was a victim of this poisoning.
Did the accused try to take the life of the governor of New Serene? This is an extremely serious crime.
Indeed. He saw my cousin and me as the ideal control group to prove his theories. And no humanitarian or diplomatic consideration could put a stop to his ambition.
This letter alone is crucial proof. I will put it on our file.
Do we have any chance of winning?
Yes, I am rather confident. You have provided overwhelming evidence. But if we had witnesses, we would have an even bigger chance of winning.
All right, let
I
me
will
go get
return
him.
to you soon. The Nords should be at the port, and the islanders had to take refuge in Vigshardir. As for the scientists, they said they would go back to the governor's laboratory. I should give this powder to someone who can tell me what it is.
Wow, so it's a good thing that we released the people who were in his laboratory. He had a couple of assistants, and I think we had the option of killing them or letting them go, and we let them go. So now they can testify against him. So that was the right thing to do. Let's see what's the closest thing we can do here. Alright, I'm going to try to get the not representatives, the not witnesses first. What is this one? Talk with Afra about Asili. Have the dark powder analyzed, question the researchers. Oh, okay. Do we have to be in my house to be able to talk to her about it? Maybe I can just talk to her? Hey, Afra.
Desade, I'm happy to see you. Can I do anything for you?
I would like you to tell me about Asili.
I was expecting you to come and see me about this. What would you like to know?
Come and see you. I mean, you've been with me through the whole thing.
Were you aware of Dr. Asili's experiments?
In part, yes. That's why I chose not to be his student any longer.
Why not say anything?
Because I never thought he would go so far. Over time, he became more and more cruel. I found his approach brutal. As if by meeting the natives it deprived him of all humanity. He spoke of them as test subjects, never as people. But there was a time when he was the greatest doctor and scientist in the Alliance. And I clung on to that memory.
You do know that you were captured thanks to him.
Yes, but I thought the natives wanted to trade us merely as prisoners of war. I was blind. And stupid. I regret it terribly.
Do you think, as your master does, that science justifies all sacrifices?
No. I may have believed that at one time, without of course ever imagining that we'd resort to such cruel treatment. But Dunkus, you and Siora have opened my eyes to the limits of science. To worship it as we do in the Alliance does not make us better than Teleme.
Cool. I think we talked to her about this, Ask her about the need for such a method. What method? What?
In your opinion, were the horrors practiced in this laboratory necessary for his research?
Oh, okay.
No, even if he was convinced of it. General interest outweighs the suffering of a few individuals. He wanted results quickly, to the point of neglecting slower, more humane methods. I hope we'll succeed in ensuring these experiments never happen again.
Oh. Ask her to participate in the trial.
Would you be willing to testify against Dr. Asili during his trial?
Of course. I was going to talk to you about that. I want to convince my colleagues that we must give up these kind of methods. And even if it costs me dearly, I want my master to pay for what he did. Anything else?
Good. All right. Nope, that's it.
I must leave you.
We have exhausted your dialogue options and fulfilled that requirement. Now, is there a way out of here? Looks like we can go through here. And what's next? Going out here, talking to the researchers, and having the dark powder analyzed on our way out to talk to the Nauts. Okay. We can do that. Looks like we just keep going straight ahead. Then from here, we can hang a left and then a right. I guess so. Aha, here we go. Don't remember if I've ever been over here before. Governor's Research Laboratory. Okay. What's in here? Hello? Anyone? Is this the lady that we allowed to escape from the laboratory?
Hello. I see that you are back to work.
Indeed. We were not bothered thanks to you. And here I can make myself useful. But I don't think you're here to ask about me. What can I do for you?
Okay, we can ask her about her work here. Alright, yeah. We can ask her about Dr. Asili's current reputation. We can show her the powder found in the laboratory. Alright, let's start there.
I discovered this strange powder in one of the laboratory's chests. Do you know what it is?
I did see the doctor using it once or twice, but I don't know what it is. But I can study it for you if you want. I have the tools that will allow me to do so here.
Okay.
So, what is it?
It is a quintessence of black blood. Probably created using the blood of numerous patients. The doctor managed to harness the very concept of the malachor in this powder.
Ugh.
A single pinch ingested by someone would be enough for them to be afflicted by the disease. With the quantities that you brought me, hundreds of people could be contaminated. It's terrifying. I cannot believe Asili would do such a thing. Here, these are my notes. I wrote down all the details of my experiments as well as my conclusions.
That was quick.
I will relay them to the prosecutor.
Okay. Ask her about her work here.
What is your purpose here?
I helped Dr. Unur to understand the research of my former master. He's the one who became his successor.
I do hope that he doesn't use the same methods.
Of course not.
What about your other colleagues? What's become of them?
They felt guilty. They stopped their experiments and returned to Al-Sad.
Okay. Let's ask about the doctor's current reputation.
What do the other scholars think of Dr. Asili, now that his actions have been revealed for all to see?
Most still admire him greatly. He was the greatest amongst us, you know? They didn't witness what was happening in the lab, and they have little interest in the natives. For them, the main problem is political, given that the war against the rebels cost us dearly. Until they understand the horrors that happened there, they will not have any moral issues.
Alright, let's ask her to testify.
Are you prepared to testify against Dr. Asili?
Yes. I kept silent for far too long about what was going on in that lab. I know what we did was wrong, and I do not want it to happen again.
Thank you. Your story could change the outcome of this trial.
Alright.
I must leave you.
That wasn't... I didn't even have
what
to...
she saw working alongside Asili
sorry.
obviously upset her. She will make an excellent witness.
I was going to say, I didn't even have to pass a charisma check or anything. Who's this guy? Anybody? Oh, he's got one of those masks on. The plague masks. Oh, and there's a dude here too. Were they here when we walked in? I don't remember. Okay. Oh, there's a question mark down here. Really? Let's go see what this is. There's a door here. What's this? Storage room? This place has the same layout as Dr. Asili's secret lab, but this room here was the experimentation room and it was full of dead people. They're all just standing there. They're not doing anything at all. Okay. Couldn't afford animations for this part of the game. Hello? Ooh.
Doctor
Honor, what do you want?
What is your role, and what is your research topic?
I'm in charge of the governor's laboratories. My main research concerns the Malachor, of course. Above all, we searched for a way to reduce the suffering of the sick.
What were you looking for?
Now that we have access to my colleague Asili's work, it gives us hope of finding a cure.
So the crimes he committed while conducting his work do not concern you?
He will be judged for that. But it would be a shame for him to have done all this for nothing.
Maybe he's the one we should have asked to analyze the powder. And then he would have been like, you know, he would have realized the extent of Asili's evil or something. I don't know.
What do you think of Dr. Asili now that you've learned how he conducted his research?
Well, obviously the few excesses he has conceded himself are unfortunate. But he remains the greatest scientist that the Alliance has ever known. His work has had a profound effect on science. It seems quite unfair to me to reduce his life's work just to what he has done lately.
If I understand correctly, you will be one of his defenders.
Naturally. I don't deny that he made a terrible mistake, but he meant well. And he was probably acting on behalf of our helplessness to combat the Malachor.
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna, but I'll ask.
Would you agree to speak at the trial? Your influence could be crucial.
Oh, but I already intended to give a statement. His lawyer came to find me.
So you were ready to defend a man who used torture and murder to advance his research?
Indeed, because I think the entire work of a scientist should not be judged on a single mistake. It is obvious that he should not have used such methods, but Asili has never been very political. I doubt he understood the implications of his actions.
So you're saying the only problem in this case is political?
Essentially, yes. The war he nearly caused could have been expensive for our governor and the city, but let's not fool ourselves. No tears will be shed over the fate of a few of those bloodthirsty savages.
Oh, ask Afra for help or flatter his pride. Oh gosh, that takes 3 intuition to do, and I do have 3 intuition, so that might be the better option. But letting Afra speak might be helpful as well. I'm gonna go for this since I have the high-ranking intuition.
What interest do you have in defending Dr. Asili? You have obviously taken his place since his arrest. I understand that you admired him a lot, but under his tutelage you could not really impose your own ideas. Well, now you finally have a chance to leave your own mark on history.
You were not wrong, but I find it rather unlikely that he will be sentenced.
I have gathered a lot of damning evidence against him, and with your testimony,
I could finally publish my research on fountain contamination. Very well, you've convinced me. I will now testify for the prosecution. It is true that it's time to turn the page and leave his cruel methods behind.
Thank you, Doctor. Dr. Honor is an influential scholar. His testimony would convince the judges.
Yeah, see, maybe if I had brought him the black powder, because he mentioned fountain contamination. So if he's the one that had looked at the black powder, he might have been able to say, oh gosh, he could have dumped this into the fountain and we all would have gotten sick. Oh my God, I'll testify against him. But that's not what I did. So, I could go back and reload and do it over again, but I think we'll have a strong enough case anyway, so I'm not going to worry about it. I used my intuition, and it worked out okay. Huh. I thought there was a question mark here. I guess not. Maybe it was just this doorway. But anyway, let that be a lesson to anyone who plays this game after watching me. Maybe you should bring the black powder to this dude upstairs instead of giving it to the lady downstairs. Doesn't look like there's anything in here to loot. Well, there's some cool shelves. I like that. Silver Fox is saying smack him. Hey Storm, welcome to the chat room. How's your Saturday? You looked up the GreedFall voice actors and there's a video of it on YouTube. Yeah, I think I looked them up on Internet Movie Database at some point. I don't know if I recognized any of them from other video games or anything, but yeah, I think they did a decent job. It says Cassie Layton did the voice of the female Desarde. I don't think she's done much else prior to this. Let's see. Yeah, Kurt. Yeah, it looks like there are a lot of the voice actors are a lot of actors that are from the UK. But we knew that. We could tell from their accents, right? He's done a lot of stuff. The guy who's the voice actor for Kurt, Liam Garrigan. He's been in a lot of things. He was in Pillars of the Earth. Ooh, that was a good miniseries. And he played King Arthur in the Once Upon a Time TV series. I don't know if I ever watched that. Oh, really? Silver Fox saying Petrus's voice actor was in Witcher and some other video games. Ooh, interesting. He does have a very rich voice. I like that voice. Stephen Hartley is his name. Yeah, he did a voice in Sea of Thieves, Hellblade, Senua's Sacrifice, Warhammer, Yeah, it looks like he's done a lot of video game voiceover work. Dark Souls 3. Ah, okay. He was one of the voices in Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. Yeah. Interesting. Storm's been blowing up several trolls on GTA. Oh, Storm's saying Petrus. Is Petrus one of your favorites in GreedFall? He's not romanceable, though. That's all I know. And I still have some quests to do with him. Alright, we got the people to testify who were going to testify. We convinced everyone. Oh, hello. Old research documents of Dr. Onur. This file contains the notes of Dr. Onur. From what you understand of his sketches and notes, he sought to discover how patients were contaminated and focused on the water and that the patients might have ingested. On the file, you can see words which were obviously written by Dr. Asili, saying completely useless research, give up, Onur, we have much better things to do. Yeah, see, Asili was going to use that research to contaminate the water with the Malachor, I betcha. Or maybe that's how the Malachor spread. Maybe Asili did something to help spread the Malachor. Well, now I kind of wish I had done this quest line a little bit differently. But done is done. I'm going to live with it. I mean, how was I to know that I was supposed to go into his office and read his notes first and then go talk to him and then talk to the other lady? I didn't know. I did my thing. We're going to live with it. Hope all goes well. Let's get down and get some knots to testify, and then maybe it'll work out. That would be in this direction. Can we go this direction? Is this not territory? Or, nope, just a wall. Okay. Let's get down to the harbor. Oh shoot, am I accidentally in the not territory? I don't think so. Whose place is this? Oh, I think we've talked to this guy before. I don't remember why though. Okay, it doesn't matter. Oh, lockpicking level 3 for that chest, huh? Alright. Oh, it's right behind us. Okay. How are we gonna get there? Do we have to dress like Nauts? I don't want to try to get into their territory and make them mad. Let's do a save just in case. Is he gonna aggro on me? He's not aggroing on me yet. Oh shoot. What the heck? Who are these jackasses? They don't look like Noats. They look like Coin Guard. Or are they just bandits? What happened? What? Did he end up dead? God dang it. What in the heck? Did we accidentally kill him or did they? Did we not rescue him in time? Oh, this is going to be difficult, I think. Hello! Emma Q says, I'm happy you are doing great. I used to watch your Fallout 4 streams 5 years ago. I don't know if I was doing Fallout 4 streams 5 years ago. Was I? Have I been doing it that long? Oh my gosh. Yeah, I guess it has been. Did I? Well, when did the game come out? I started streaming it, I think, the year after it came out. So, yeah, maybe it was 2016? Have I really been doing a YouTube channel for that long? Yeah, I guess so. It came out in 2015, so I was streaming it in 2016. It's 2021. No! Oh, okay. Silver Fox is saying you went into that house for Vasco looking for his brother. Oh, right. Yeah. Mercs or something. Yeah, Storm is saying maybe they're Mercs. Yeah, I don't know. Let's run back here and see if we can save him. It sounds like he got killed. I heard, ugh.
Is everything all right?
We saved her.
Once again, thanks to you.
Just
These
in time.
people wanted to kill me.
They certainly wanted to prevent you from testifying at the doctor's trial.
The doctor will be judged. I suppose you'd like me to testify about how we suffered.
Indeed. If you do not fear another attempt on your life by these men.
Don't worry. I won't put up with intimidation. From now on, my people will watch over me until I can testify. And I intend to witness the execution of our torturer. You can count on me.
Thank you. Your word will be crucial during the trial.
Dang. That was crazy. I don't think I've ever had to, like, worry about protecting somebody from an attack like that before in this game. I didn't realize what was going on the first time around. Yeah, they're wearing Coin Guard outfits, so yeah, they're mercs. They were hired to thrash her. Well, hired to kill her. And they did the first time, but then I reloaded. What were you doing through all that? They probably paid him off to look the other way. Alright. So, we have done everything except meet with the survivors amongst the natives. So, what's this? Oh yeah, I got some new junk. Alright, so where do we go to meet with the natives? We have to go where? In Vig Shadir. I think I can fast travel there from my house though. So there's not necessarily a reason for me to go all the way out to this fast travel spot out here. Okay. Now I gotta find my way back home through the winding streets of Hikmet. Oh, straight ahead. There's my house. I want to go sell my junk to the merchant, though. Well, yeah, I haven't been playing Fallout 4 in a while, but I do play Fallout 3. I stream that on Twitch, and I upload highlights videos to YouTube.
Your Excellency, it's always a pleasure. Is there anything you would like?
I would like to sell you some junk. I guess I didn't get any junk. Usually, I don't usually pay attention when I loot. I just grab everything and go, but I guess I didn't get any actual junk. Alright. That's fine. But yeah, no, I haven't streamed Fallout 3 in a while because I got caught up in playing this game, which I really like, GreedFall. But I'll get back to it. I'm still uploading. I'm editing streams that I did last year and still uploading highlights to YouTube. And then when I get all done with GreedFall, I'll go back to playing Fallout 3. But that'll be streamed over on my Twitch channel. Twitch.tv/JewelSmith. Because I'm playing it on PC. When I started this channel, I only had the PS4. But last year I bought a new PC and I'm able to stream from it. And I use the Twitch Studio app to stream. So I have to stream to Twitch if I'm playing a PC game. So basically my my PS4 games I'm playing and streaming to YouTube. And then the PC games I'm playing and streaming to Twitch. But yeah, when I get done with GreedFall, I'll go back to Fallout 3. And then Team Trash Cake, Stella and Sulfur and I... we're thinking about playing a little bit more Stardew Valley now that they've done the update and the update has come to PS4. We want to go back back to the farm and check out the new updated and expanded new stuff. So we'll be doing that pretty soon, and that'll be streamed to YouTube because we'll be playing on PlayStation. Imad is saying, how are you doing with coronavirus? Oh, well, that's kind of you to ask. As a lifestyle, it hasn't really changed my lifestyle much. We're fine. My family and I are all healthy. It hasn't really changed much for us. My husband started working from home. He was working in an office, but he's a computer programmer, so they just sent everybody home and said you can work from home. Which he had wanted to do for the longest time. He's been like begging to work from home because there wasn't really a reason for him to be in the office other than having meetings. But now they do meetings over Zoom, so or whatever they use. I don't know how they do their meetings, but you know, something like that. And you know, he's been working from home for the past year. My daughters were already doing online school anyway, even before Corona happened. My oldest was doing college, and her college already offered online classes. They offered in-person or online, and you could choose which way you wanted to do it. And she preferred online classes because that's just, she can, you know, just do things when she wants to do things. It's more flexible. Because she used to have a part-time job, but then when, and coincidentally, she was quitting her job anyway, right when Corona started last year. Because she was unhappy with her job, so she left that job, and then she hasn't gotten another one we were kind of waiting for this whole corona thing to settle back down, but of course it didn't. But you know, hopefully we'll get vaccines soon, and she'll be going back to work. So she's just, you know, doing her college thing, and she's almost done with that. I think this is like maybe her last semester. And my youngest was doing online school for high school anyway. She was attending an online private school. So it really didn't change anything for us other than now I get to see my husband more. But, you know, I mean, we weren't really eating out a lot anyway because we're just not that way, and we don't really go out and do a whole lot. I mean, there's some things we want to do. We wish we could go out and do. You know, we kind of put a hold on vacations and visiting family and stuff like that. So, you know, that's changed. We did Christmas over Zoom this year instead of actually going to visit my in-laws. You know, that kind of stuff. But we're holding up. We're holding up pretty well where we are. We're much more fortunate, I know, than a lot of people who have really suffered through this. So we're very grateful. Am I still writing? Sometimes. I'm still working on some things. Yeah, I keep trying to make more time to write and less time to game, but then there's just keeps being all these games to play. GreedFall and Fallout 3 and Stardew Valley and more. And more. I'm constantly being asked to play other games, and you know, people will suggest things. Hey, have you played this game? Or hey, why don't you do this one? Or hey, you want to play this one with me? Or you know, and I'm like, I'm trying to game less. I need more time to do other things like writing or making jewelry or you know, whatever. Spending time with my family. I know it's funny, we're all at home, but we don't actually spend that much time together because everyone's busy doing their things. We see each other at dinner time. and sometimes we pass each other throughout the day, but that's about it. But yeah, you know, I don't watch a lot of television. I don't watch a lot of movies. You know, there's a few movies I want to sit down and watch, but it's like, well, I gotta game less. But yeah, I have a few things I'm working on with writing. Do I recommend any of my writing? No, not really. No, I mean, I'm horrible at self-promotion. I just put it out in the world, and if people find it and they like it, that's great. And with my novels, too, it's like, I wrote the novels that are published. I had a couple of novels published about 10 years ago, and a lot of people would find out I was a published writer, and they would, oh really, I'll go buy your book. And they had, you know, I was like, no, you wouldn't like it. It's a post-cyberpunk alien computer weird thing. It's kind of, it's like most of the people I knew at that time when the books came out were not people who liked science fiction, let alone really weird, edgy science fiction. So, I mean, it wouldn't be considered edgy anymore because I had a really hard time marketing it because it had alien human romance, and I kept being rejected and told nobody wants to read alien human romance. And then Shape of Water came out, and now everybody wants to read alien human romance. And I'm like, okay, well, you know, I had a really hard time getting published because of this, but now everybody wants to write it and do it and read it and whatever. So I guess it's not that edgy anymore, but it's not a romance novel, though. I mean, it's definitely a science fiction novel. It just has some romantic elements. But or the two books, because it was supposed to be a series, but I never finished the third book. They stand alone as they are, but you know, my editor and I had plans for a third novel, but other things happened. I am currently actually in the middle of the legal process of having the rights reverted back to me because it was published 10 years ago. And in my contract, I can request the rights to be reverted back to me after, I think, 7 years. If it hasn't sold very many copies, and it doesn't. So if I get it back, I may revise it and finish the third novel. It won't be a novel, though. What I was thinking of doing is revising it, breaking it up into novellas. So like the first novel would be broken up into maybe 3 or 4 parts, 3 or 4 short novellas, and then the second novel, same thing, and then the third novel, instead of being a full-length novel, would be like 1 or 2 novellas just to wrap up the story. And then put each one of those on Amazon myself for 99 cents or whatever. Because I've learned a lot about writing in 10 years, and I think that I could rewrite them and they would be a lot better than they are. I think I had a good idea, and I think I had good characters and a good plot and good world building, but I think my writing has vastly improved. The actual execution, I think I'm much better now than I was, but I don't know. That's just my opinion. But now, other than that, I write some short stories, and I write some fan fiction, and I write some non-fiction. You know, so I don't know. I do it because I enjoy it, and sometimes other people do too. So, oh, I still says I recommend Jules writing. Well, thank you. I'm on AO3. If you're familiar with AO3, I'm there on the same under the same name, Jules Smith. I'm Jules Smith on YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, and AO3, and Patreon. All right, let's see here. Okay, so now we got to meet with the survivors, the natives, and they are out here. Okay, back in the ancient woods. We can do that. Let's get them. Let's get everybody. I want to really build a case against this jerk. Yeah, Petrus, I know. You got stuff to talk to me about. We're not going to talk about it right now. We'll go talk to these people. Oh, we're like right in front of the... Where are we exactly? Oh, is this where we had to find the healer, the high priestess lady, and fight that really big boss? I think it is. Okay. There are a lot of different native villages and tribes and stuff, so I was just kind of trying to figure out where I was.
Who freed us. We managed to reach Vikshadir.
I see
They
that.
told me what you did for them, Renaikse. Well done. I
Oh,
was
she's
able
all
to give
better.
them the care they needed. Some wounds will take time to heal, but they are safe thanks to you.
She got
I'm
shot.
happy to see that they're better.
But you didn't come here for that, did you?
No, I came to ask for your help. The doctor who captured and tortured you is about to be tried for his crimes. He has a lot of support among his people. He is a respected man despite what he did. If we don't have testimony from some of his victims, he will surely be released.
You'll have our words. We'll go to the Grand City and tell our story.
And the Mad Lion will die for causing so much harm to our people.
May the earth engulf him. You can return to Hikmet. I'll make sure they get there in good health.
Thank you, Tienahak, and thank you all. I blame myself for forcing these poor people back to the city where they've suffered so much.
My people are strong and proud. They will not be afraid to speak in front of your judges for justice.
I believe our investigation is coming to an end. Let's find the prosecutor.
All right. But first, let's loot your baskets. Oh, there's one. Oh, right here, right here. Thank you. All right. And now we should be able to travel back to Hikmet. And tell the lawyer we have built the case against Dr. Asili. I definitely want to take Afra because she's going to testify against him. And I'll take Siora because she was there to witness everything. So, no need to change out any of my companions. Don't think I have anything to sell. We'll head right out. Oh, Imad is saying, I wrote a short novel, but I haven't reviewed it yet. It has been finished in 2019. I suffer with my ambition and courage. 0 results. Aww. You mean you haven't, like, rewritten it or worked on it since you finished it? Yeah, revisions with novels, you'll end up revising them a lot. Especially if you end up publishing them and you work with an editor. I went kind of a traditional, non-traditional publishing route. I mean, a lot of people publish on Amazon nowadays. They self-publish. That wasn't available, or that was just... I think it was like just after I got my books published, it became available that anyone who wanted to could publish on Amazon. But I published with an e-publisher, so I never had a printed copy of my novels. They were actually an experimental niche of a major publishing house, like a big, printed book publishing type house that had been around for a while, but was trying to experiment with e-publishing. So they formed what they call an imprint, and the imprint was publishing e-novels. So my book was like on Barnes and Nobles, Nook. I don't know if Nook even still exists, but it's like a Amazon Kindle or whatever. It was available on Amazon Kindle. It was available DRM free on the publisher's website. It was available in e-version everywhere. And then they made an Audible version of it. That was the other thing that I'm going to do. If I get the rights reverted back to me, I'm going to start reading chapters and put them on my channel on YouTube. The lady who did the reading for Audible was very nice lady, and she put in a lot of hard work on it. But it just never sounded quite like the way I hear it in my own head as the author, so it always sounded weird to me. I mean, I know several people, I've gotten feedback from several readers, listeners who bought the Audible book and liked it, but I want to be able to read it myself so that the words are pronounced the way that I meant them to be pronounced, or the delivery of the dialogue or the accents or whatever it is sounds correct, right? Like there was one character, for instance, there was one character in the novel who was racist, and I didn't specify in the novel where he was from, but in my mind he was from Boston because he was an Irish American. And I just in my own head I placed him in Boston, but she gave him a Southern accent because it was like, to her, I guess racist equals Southern automatically, which I found a little bit offensive because I'm from the South and not everyone here is a racist, or not everyone runs around with Confederate flags or KKK hoods or whatever, but there's like this idea that if you're from the South, this is what you must do. So I was kind of like, no, actually he would have a Boston accent, but okay. There was some stuff like that in the Audible book that I was a little bit like, I just want to, I want to do it myself. And also, just put it out there for people. Like I said, I like to put my work out there and just let people who enjoy it. And, if I start reading chapters and putting them on YouTube as audio books or, little audio chapters, and if people like them enough and they want to go to Patreon and, support me over there or whatever, that's fine. But I want to, I just want to do that anyway. But I did all of that, and they were published online. I didn't have any input into the cover designs. you know, I had a little bit of input into like the little blurbs that you write to promote them, but I did work with an editor. I mean, I still had to go through the usual process of submitting, having it be accepted, and then having, you know, being assigned an editor and having to work with the editor and publisher to meet, you know, the standards and changes and things that they wanted. And I think that's part of the process that a lot of people nowadays miss. They write a novel and then they throw it up on Amazon and they don't have the chance to work with an editor or a publisher. And sometimes that's okay. I'm not saying everyone who publishes on Amazon, who self-publishes, is bad quality. I'm not saying that. There are many people who publish on Amazon who are very successful. But I think for some people that self-publish, they really miss out on learning from the process of working with other people on their novel. And I know a lot of people are very particular about, well, it's my novel and I want it to say what I want it to say. Okay, but but it really does help. You can really learn a lot by listening to the feedback from people who are in the industry and who have been doing this a lot longer than you have and who have read a lot more books than you have. So, you know, I really enjoyed working with my editor and I enjoyed working with my publisher in that regard, like, you know, in actually working on the revisions. So I submitted it to them. They wanted to publish it, but that's not like, you don't just instantly get published at that minute. Then you have to sit and spend months, literally months, going through rounds of revisions with your editor and publisher. And in my case, it was a lot of, you know, rewrite this chapter, or we need more information about this, so add a chapter about this, or, you know, I mean, they didn't drastically change the novel. They made it stronger. They made it better. And they suggested things that I would never have thought of, you know. So it was a really, really good process. And they were willing, you know, if there was something that they thought I should change and I pushed back on it, where I said, no, I have a reason for this. As long as you had a reason for it, as long as I said, no, it's this way for a reason and here's the reason, they would go, oh, okay, that's fine. And then, you know, and that was it. And then we would leave it in. But anyway, it makes you think about your work very differently when you work with an actual professional editor. So, there are people online. I know some people who self-publish on Amazon do work with editors. They'll hire editors, or they'll have a friend who's an editor, or they'll, you know, work with what they call a book doctor to like help them make their novels and their writing stronger, right? Because it just helps to have another set of eyes, another set of experienced eyes. Because you could give it to a friend, but your friend doesn't necessarily know everything about the genre or the market or about writing that, you know, a professional editor would. So a friend might read it and go, yeah, that sounds great, but, you know, okay. You may not learn much from that process. And plus, your friends are going to lie and tell you it's great when it's not, because they like you. But yeah, I actually had two friends who were editors, because I used to be an editor in newspapers. I had two friends that were editors who read the novel before I even submitted it to publishers. And you know, and they suggested a lot of changes, and I made a lot of changes based on their suggestions before I finally got a publisher to be interested in it. So, you know, yeah, there's a lot of revisions. So it's basically like you write it, you revise it, a friend reads it, or, you know, somebody reads it, you revise it again, you submit it, it gets declined a lot, you revise it again, you submit it, you finally get accepted, and then you spend 6 months revising it again. So, you know, somebody somewhere said, if you're not sick of your novel yet, you haven't edited it enough. And that's very true. But anyway, the fan fiction stuff's just for funsies, so I don't worry too much about editing that. I edit it myself, but, you know, it's just a chapter here, a chapter there. It's more or less like a lot of my fan fiction is kind of like a supplement to the video games that I play. It's like backstory. It's like role-playing backstory. Oh, Imad says, can you share a link for it? Where should I go? AO3, if you're familiar with that website. It's Archive of Our Own. Let me see if I can find the link. Well, if you go to patreon.com/Jewelsmith, there's links there, or there should be links there, for everything, like my jewelry website and my author website and all of my channels where I stream. All of that should be over there. It's not behind a paywall. I don't put anything behind a paywall. And I'm Jewelsmith on Twitter, so if you go to Twitter and search for Jewelsmith, you should be able to find me. And I think that on Twitter it's linked to... What is it linked to? Yeah, it's linked to my author site. Because originally my Twitter account was for when I became a published author. But there should be a link on there. Yeah, I understand that. Ahmad is saying, you're not lazy. You're not lazy. It's not about being lazy. It's just there's other things going on in your life. Don't put yourself down. Lazy is not lazy. Lazy is there's other things going on in your life. Yeah, and you've been depressed. See, that's why I never wrote the third novel. I actually struggled with mental health issues very, very much. After I published the first two novels, I ended up with severe anxiety disorder and depression and panic attacks. It was panic disorder, generalized anxiety disorder, PTSD, and panic attacks is what, or I'm sorry, I don't know if I was ever diagnosed with depression. I mean, I certainly seemed depressed, and that was why my doctor sent me to a therapist. Even my doctor noticed that I was depressed. But I was diagnosed with PTSD and panic disorder and anxiety disorder. And I was really bad. Like, I had days where I couldn't get out of bed the whole day. Or I would have panic attacks that, like, would last all day. Like, they weren't just, like, 20 minutes long, then they'd go away. They would just be constant. I had to be put on medication for I had to be put on adrenaline blockers. Because it was like my body was just constantly producing adrenaline. And so I was constantly panicking. And it was horrible. And I struggled with that for years. And that's why I didn't finish the rest of my novels. And I stopped writing for a long time. It wasn't until I started this YouTube channel. And this YouTube channel kind of pulled me out of... I mean, a lot of things changed. I went to therapy. I had medication. I worked out. There were several things in my life that were going on. I worked out a lot of those. We moved to a different city. A lot of things changed, and I got a lot better. I'm a lot better now. But yeah, I totally understand. Yeah, it's hard. I spent a lot of time not writing because of that stuff that I struggled with. That's for sure. I wrote an article about that. I wonder if I can find... Yeah, here we go. I'll find you the link to the article I wrote for checkpoint.org. There's this organization called checkpoint.org. Well, it's Checkpoint, but their website is checkpointorg.com. It's not .org, it's checkpointorg.com. And they actually do a lot of stuff about gaming and mental health. They're pro gaming. They're pro gamer, pro mental health. They work with game companies that make games that involve mental health so that they're portraying people accurately, portraying those mental health issues accurately. They do a lot of articles about how video games help people cope and stuff like that. I highly recommend it. It's a cool website. But yeah, I had written an article for them about the whole process of what was going on when I started my YouTube channel. If you want to take a look at that. Anyway. Alright, let's see. What do we need to do next? Inform the attorney. Okay, so are we back in Hikmet yet? Yep, we are. Let's go talk to the attorney. Sorry to get sidelined, everybody. Yep, okay, we go straight ahead and hang a right, I guess. I know we've already done this once before, but I just get so turned around in these city streets. Oh, and it's nighttime. We're probably going to get to fight bandits, too. That'll be fun. I will take their coins and old boots. Are we getting there? Are we close? Yep, there we are. All right.
You have returned, Your Excellency. Do you have any news on our matter?
Talk about the testimonies. Talk about the diseased blood concentrate. All right, let's talk about the testimonies.
A Nort victim of Dr. Asili agreed to testify at the trial.
Excellent. This kind of testimony will certainly rattle his defense.
Okay, we got the scholars.
I managed to convince the scientists in the governor's laboratory to speak in our favor.
Excellent. These are not direct witnesses, but if they denounce the doctor, we are sure to be heard.
I even got a testimony from one of Dr. Asili's colleagues.
Perfect. That will convince our scientists, and you know how important they are in Hikmet.
Afra, one of Dr. Asili's former students, has agreed to testify.
She's standing right there.
This woman is very respected by the governor. Her statement will carry a lot of weight.
The islanders will testify at the trial. Their injuries will surely convince the judges.
Indeed. But do bear in mind that the islanders are not highly regarded in Hikmet.
An alchemist studied the powder that we found in the laboratory. Apparently it's some kind of concentrate made from the blood of several patients with the Malachor. It seems that less than a pinch of this powder is enough to contaminate whoever consumes it. There's enough here to make a small town sick.
A terrifying thought. I will add the analysis and this powder to the evidence on record. You have gathered overwhelming evidence. The defense will have a hard time saving the accused. I think we can go to trial with confidence now.
Yay! All right, well, let's start the trial.
Will the trial begin soon?
It seems to be the right time. Excellent investigation work. I think we have every chance of winning.
Oh, good.
Where will the trial be held?
At the palace. I regret to inform you that you will not be able to attend.
What?
However, I'm sure the governor will keep you informed of the outcome of the proceedings.
I regret to inform you that we didn't want to program this part of the game.
The trial was exemplary. Asili's madness was exposed to the entire world. And you have demonstrated the horror of his methods.
Thank you, Excellency. But all praise should be showered upon Lady de Sade. The evidence she supplied was irrefutable.
It was necessary that you hear the victims, in order to understand the extremities to which your science has taken you.
Come now. One cannot conclude that science was guilty here.
Not science, but the savants were. It is never right to set aside humanity in the name of the common good. No knowledge justifies killing or torture.
Your words are wise, and I promise to remember them.
You have not always shown yourself a man of impeccable judgment, Excellency.
We are
Ooh,
all,
that's
from
throwing
time
some
to
shade.
time, victim of our own blind enthusiasm, that is true. But this trial has shaken my usual resolve. It may very well change the course of history.
All right, we got a whole bunch of reputation with the Bridge Alliance after all that. Yeah, so I guess they just didn't have the resources to write and record the voices and animate the whole entire trial, which is a bit disappointing. I would have really liked to see that dude go down. But, all right, we know it happened. He is taken care of. Oh, but we get to see the execution. Oh, well, you didn't tell me that part. Unless I missed it. Did I miss it? Did he mention the execution? What's over here? We haven't been in here? Alright, is there a time limit on this execution? It doesn't say. So I guess we'll get there in a minute. Let's go poke around in his private dwelling here and shed some light on these question marks. They're probably just doorways. Ooh, that's a long spiral staircase. Oh, alright, I guess this is Governor Burns' room. It's a bit of a mess. Ooh, what's this? Anything up here? Yep, just staircases. Alright. Okay, got a little ammo. Alright, let's go see this guy receive justice. Is he gonna be burned? Is he gonna be hung? Is he gonna have his head chopped off? Don't know. Where do we gotta go? Straight ahead. Alright. Oh, there we go. Oh, everyone just showed up. Okay.
Afra, are you certain that you want to attend this?
I do not want to attend. I must.
Dr. Asili, you have been found guilty of all accusations brought against you. In consequence, the Bridge Alliance Tribunal condemns you to death. Do you have any final words?
You treat me like a monster. But how many times have you stayed your own hands? So close to the goal to finally find a remedy, you would have done as I. What do a few lives mean when the future of all humanity hangs in the balance? You are nothing more than idiots, incompetents, and you, Baron, are the greatest hypocrite of all. You know that I am right.
Executioner, earn your pay.
You know that I am right.
Wow. Got a lot of XP there. Woo, look at that. Speak to Afra, okay.
Desade, I'm happy to see you. Can I do anything for you?
I'm supposed to speak to you. You're standing here like you expect to have a conversation with me. I think we've already talked about all of these things.
Tell me about your studies with Dr. Asili.
He was not always mad, you know. He was a renowned doctor back in Al-Sad. His unusual methods saved many lives, and I was very proud to be amongst his students. He taught me a lot. He was a great teacher. He was strict and severe, but he always pushed us to do our best. It's only when I joined him on the island that I understood that there was something wrong. He seemed changed and completely obsessed with the Malachor. You know it killed his wife and 2 children. He was so shaken by that, he no longer showed any restraint in his research. Such a waste. For the natives he massacred as well as for science.
Wow, okay, that was some new information. What have you learned thanks to Dunkus? That's one of the native people.
I'm under the impression that you've not learned as many things as you wanted by observing.
Yeah, I think we already
True. But instead
talked to her about
I
this.
wonder if this couldn't, if I said that in Al-Sad, learning about the native.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
I must leave you.
Oh, Ahmad says, have a good night. Be safe. I love you all. Thank you. You be safe and have a good night as well. Yeah, I know the time differences. I have viewers in many other countries. It's getting late where I am. It's getting to be dinner time, but it must be even later where everyone else is. On the other side of the Atlantic Ocean. On the other side of the world. Thanks for stopping by. It was good to chat with you. I hope you get a chance to work on your story, and I hope you're feeling better soon. I don't even know if you're here to still hear me say all of that, but maybe you'll come back and watch the rest of the video tomorrow and you'll hear me say it. Okay. Now I suppose we should go talk to Petrus about his quest that he wants to do with me. Yeah, I think I'm going to go do Petrus's side quest right now. Orient myself here. Let's go this way. Is this the way to my house? No, over here. There we go. Porch light is on. So where's Petrus? Oh, there he is.
I'm happy you came to find me. Allow me to apologize once again. I should have spoken to you sooner, told you what I knew, and not betrayed your trust.
Indeed, you should have.
As I said, I'd like to make up for it and help you find your family again.
How do you intend to do that?
As you now know, I knew your mother. We had trouble communicating at first, of course, but we gradually learned to understand one another. She was important in her village. Based on what I know today, I think she was a Denegad. She told me her name, Arelwyn, and told me about her family. She even gave me a pendant for you. You were only a child, so I gave it to Mrs. Desade for safekeeping.
She gave me a necklace when I went to say goodbye to her. She said it was a family heirloom. Did my mother tell you the name of her village?
No. But I'm sure the Nauts can help us. They were the ones who took your mother to the continent.
It was such a long time ago. How can I find out if they remember?
The Nauts record everything down to the gentlest breeze. They must have written something in a logbook somewhere. So, do you want to try and find out where you come from? Do you want to find your relatives?
Yep, let's do it.
Yes. All this is so new to me. But I suppose so, yes.
Let's go then.
Alright. Bam. We gotta kick these folks out of the team. Alright, if we're gonna go talk to the Knots, I think I'm gonna take Vasco with me. Yeah, we gotta talk to Admiral Cabral. Oh, good. Maybe this will finally get me some good reputation with the Knots. I've been waiting and waiting and waiting for good reputation with the Knots. Oops, sorry, Sierra. Yep, we gotta go back to New Serene. How am I on ammo? Pretty good now. Alright, let's go. There she is.
You have come at the right time, Your Excellency.
Oh, good.
I am in a delicate situation and your help would be invaluable.
Excellent.
I'm listening, Admiral.
Captain Reuben warned me that he suspected a member of his crew of being a spy. It is almost certain she sent secret navigation information to foreigners.
Why ask me to take care of it?
This is a very serious accusation. One that results in a member of the guild being expelled. The Norts are like a family, very connected, but also likely to carry resentment. I think an external view is required to be certain that there will be no bias. Anyway, their ship is anchored at New Serene. Your authority will allow you to get more answers than us.
I see. What is the exact nature of the information that could have been sent?
It's up to you to find out. But all the Norts know how we navigate our ships. You've seen the techniques we use, and you know we want to keep them secret.
I agree. Where can I find Captain Reuben?
At the port in your town. You know his ship. It was Captain Vasco's before he landed. I'm counting on you, Your Excellency. We must shed light on this case.
Okay, talk to her about our mother.
I have come to talk to you about a personal matter.
After what I revealed to you, I was sure you would come back to find me. What would you like to know?
You told me that I was born on one of your ships, from a native captured on the island.
We'd like to know about this woman's origins.
I'm afraid I can't help you. I did not take part in those expeditions, and our old archives are far from here.
Is there no one on Tier-Fredy who can help us? Please.
Very well. I do know an old captain who could perhaps help you out.
Where can he be found?
His ship is moored in the port of Hikmet, if
Oh,
I'm
we
not
were just
mistaken.
there.
His name is Captain Lissandro.
Thank you for your help, Admiral.
Desarde?
Yes, Admiral?
Don't get too caught up in the past. That one in particular. Nothing good will come of it.
Whether or not we choose to get caught up in it, Admiral, the past always catches up with us. Sadly, I'm paying the price of this.
Interesting. Alright, so we have the sins of Father Petrus and we have the Admiral's Secret Service. Talk to Captain Reuben. Alright, well, we're doing the sins of Father Petrus, so let's do that first. I want to go see the blacksmith while we're here in New Serene and get some of Vasco's stuff fixed up. I think he's got an outfit. Yeah, see, he's got this commander's collared sailor coat. We need to get him some better boots, too. Better than 35. Let's go see what we can find.
Welcome! It's such a pleasure. Have you seen anything?
Do you have any decent boots, dude? Seriously. We need some better boots for Vasco. Come on. We can probably fix these up. Excuse you. Golly. We can probably fix these up. I think these are similar to the ones that I sold the other day. Yeah, I think we can fix these up. And they'll be better than what he's got right now.
Thank you for your visit.
Oh, sorry. Didn't mean to do that. I'm sorry. Hit the wrong button. Oh! Good thing this isn't like Fallout or Skyrim or something and I just shot him. I would have angered the guards. It would have been a mess. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. My finger bumped the trigger button. Yeah, let's definitely buy him those boots.
Welcome! It's such a pleasure. Have you seen anything to your life?
Such a pleasure to get shot by you. Okay. We'll do that. Yeah, I think I have that same hat already. I don't like it.
Thank you for your visit. Welcome! It's such a pleasure. Have you seen anything to your liking?
Okay. Let's go see the blacksmith.
Come closer, good people. Liqueur and wine from the continent. Tear pretty alcohol.
Oh, wrong way, this way.
Oh, it's you, old Menawi.
Yeah, hi, how you doing? My best friend.
Beautiful things from our village.
Let's go see the blacksmith. Dude.
Oh, it's a great place.
Okay, let's have something crafted. Not for me, though. For Vasco. It's probably going to tell me that I need pure steel, whatever the heck. Oh yeah, that's way better than what he had, isn't it? Alright, we'll split the difference on this one. There you go.
The best forge in... Oh, it's a great pleasure.
I'm going to go ahead and buy this guy's pure iron ore, because we know we're going to need it. Oh, he's got 8 of them this time. Oh, I don't know if I have enough money to buy all 8 and do the upgrades I want to do. Let's buy 4 of them.
One arm. Oh.
There we go. Yeah, Storm says, lucky no one turned red. Right, I didn't aggro anybody. Didn't anger anybody. Silver Fox had to reload many times in Skyrim. Yeah, accidentally killing guards when you're trying to kill a dragon. I know. Oh, what a pain in the neck. Or accidentally picking up something that's marked red for steel, and you weren't trying to. You were just trying to like interact with the merchant or whatever. But they have all that clutter all over their countertops. That's the one I would do a lot. Make them mad. Why are you stealing that? Yeah. I think Ahmad had left the chat room, but I just noticed there's a comment a little bit earlier about editing. Says, I think editors sometimes change the story's soul when they do the edits. I wanted to address that just for anyone else that might have read that comment or be curious about that. If an editor is changing the story's soul, they're not a good editor. A good editor should read the story, understand the feeling and the soul that you're trying to convey in that story. You know, understand the message and the emotional beats and you know, what it is you're trying to do with the story, and then help you do it even better. They should not be changing the spirit of the story. If you have an editor who's doing that, they're not a good editor. And they're, you know, I mean, that's why I was saying that, you know, it's okay to push back. If you're working with an editor and they're telling you to make changes that are uncomfortable to you, and you have a reason for the things that you have in your story, and you want things a certain way, you can definitely say, no, I need them to be this way because of the spirit of the story, and because of the soul of it, because this conveys this emotional beat, or this, you know, sets up this moment that happens later, or whatever the reason is. But, you know, you don't have to blindly accept every change that your editor makes, or every suggestion that they make, because sometimes they will make suggestions that are wrong, you know, and it's okay to trust your own gut instinct with it. It's just, don't be so wedded to your work that you won't make any changes or listen to another opinion about how something could be better. I mean, it really comes down to the relationship between the editor and the writer. I had a great editor, and we had a lot in common. We liked a lot of the same types of science fiction. We liked a lot of the same kinds of story beats and emotions and characters and things. And so, like, she really got what I was trying to do with my work, and she helped me make it better. But, you know, it's just, yeah, I just wanted to say that, because I don't want anybody to feel like, oh, I have to work with an editor, and so I have to just do whatever they tell me. No, you don't. I mean, you should work with an editor, but you should work with one that you trust, who understands what you're trying to do with your work and helps you with that. Not one that wants to change the entire story and make it something that it isn't, or try to change the message or the feeling or the tone, or remove this character or whatever. Like, you've got to work with somebody who understands what you're trying to do, but also be open to suggestion and try to see things, you know, when they make suggestions, try to understand why they're suggesting it. It's a back and forth. It shouldn't be a one-sided thing where they say make changes and you just do it. Unless you're like a really, really well-paid author working with a really, really big publisher who, for whatever reasons, insists that they're not going to publish, you know, some kind of extreme thing or some type of material or something like that, then maybe, you know, I can understand that. But generally, before you get a book contract, you know, an editor will have read the whole book, and they're going to know, you know, if the entire story hinges on something questionable, they're not going to give you the book contract to begin with. But yeah, no, I think that's something that a lot of people who have not written or been edited, not been published, or have not worked with an editor are like afraid of. Like, well, you're gonna change everything in my story, and it's like, no, they really, that's not what should happen. it shouldn't happen. I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but it shouldn't happen. But yeah, the other thing too is that I just want to say, like, and I was a non-fiction writer before I had novels published. I worked in journalism. I worked in newspapers. So I worked as a reporter and a columnist, and then I worked as an editor. All right. So I worked on both sides, being a writer and being an editor. And I've worked with some editors in the news business who really sucked, who would like change things in my story without even, in my article, without asking me or consulting me. And I'm the one who did the interviews, or I'm the one that gathered the information. And they would arbitrarily change things for reasons I never really understood sometimes. And I would say, I never wrote that, or nobody ever said that, or I don't know why you took this out because it was important, or whatever. And it was always turned out to be the wrong thing to do. Now, newspapers are always on like a constant daily deadline, and so people get stressed and people make mistakes and people do crazy things when just newsrooms are crazy places. So, you know, whatever. And then I would get the angry phone calls the next day because my byline is on the article, and I would get the calls and people yelling at me that I'd gotten something wrong, and I would have to say, I didn't though. My editor changed it. Well, let me talk to your editor. Okay, you know, and then I would transfer the call to my editor and let them get yelled at. But anyway, that's the news business. So I had already spent years working in the news business, and I was used to dealing with being edited, right? And you really have to let go of the preciousness of what you write. Every single word is not, you know, honey. Every single word is not your precious baby. And so when I got around to writing novels, I was okay with that. I was okay with saying, you know, so long as the work as a whole is what I want it to be, I am okay with, you know, this paragraph being reworded, or this name being changed, or this thing, you know, being moved, or whatever. Like I wasn't like so attached to my work that it was untouchable, right? And I guess the word is precious. You know, it just wasn't so precious. I wasn't being so precious about it that I couldn't make changes. And that's important. If you want to work in the industry, if you want to be a paid writer, you can't be precious about your work like that. Now, if you want to just write a story and you want to throw it on a website, or you don't care, you're just going to self-publish on Amazon, you want to do what you want to do, that's fine too. You know, then you go right ahead and do it. But if you really you know, that's different ways of approaching it. You know, you're either writing for fun, because you just want to do it, and this is your, you know, precious story, and you want every single word to remain the way that you put it in. Or you're working in the industry and you actually want to make some money and stuff off of it. It's very rare that those two things match up. It's very rare that somebody will write a book that is precious and unchangeable and perfect all on their own, and that book becomes really popular. Now, you know, it can happen. It's just really rare. I think that's kind of what happened with what the heck was it? 50 Shades of Grey. Well, didn't that start out as fan fiction for Twilight? And then they turned it into some novels. And we all know how popular those novels got. But, you know, anybody who's read them knows they're also, like, not great writing. They're very problematic. So, you know, but that I think that's like one of those weird edge cases where, for whatever reasons, you know, that's just one of those weird situations. But in general, you're either writing for fun, or you're writing because you're trying to make a living at it, or you want to make some money at it, or you want to be part of the industry. You're not really going to do both. So, you know, but if you are going to work with an editor and you want to get published and you want to make a few dollars or whatever, you gotta walk that line between, you know, advocating for your story, and yes, finding an editor who understands the spirit of your story and doesn't want to change that, but also being willing to let go a little bit, and accept criticism and accept suggestion. So anyway. Here I go again, getting off on those writerly topics. Maybe I should do writer videos or something. Hey, Barbarian King, how you doing? Oh, it's Relentless. I stopped in the chat room. Hello. How's your Saturday night? Saturday night, and I ain't got nobody. I'm trying to fix up. Let's see what we got here. Let's fix up. There you go. His collared sailor coat. Let's do it. Let's go for it. I don't like the way that looks. That's what Afra's got going on her outfit. That's pretty cool. It kind of matches what he's got going on there. Yeah, I'm going to go with that. I'm going to go with that. Sure. Now let's do his breastplate. I don't like that. That's kind of cool. Looks kind of Aztec to me or something. I don't know. I think that's what Afra has on hers. That's what the Admiral had on hers. Yeah, I think I'm going to go with this. I think this will make it a little bit visually different from the other outfits. There we go. And he is a thief build, isn't he? But what does that get him? Elemental resistance, lockpicking, fury, poison resistance. They don't really have one for... Yeah, he's not a Donny God. He's not a priest. He's not an alchemist. I don't think it's really relevant for him to have this stuff on here anyway. Maybe the lockpicking stuff. But he doesn't do any actual lockpicking. I'm the one that has to do the lockpicking. You can't tell your companions to do it for you. I don't know if Fury makes any difference to him either. So it doesn't really matter. I'm just going to give him the little pouch because it looks kind of cool on his outfit there. I'm just going to go with that. That's fine. Alright, we already... Oh, that one's only blue? Huh. We need one more pure iron ore. Do I have the money for it? I think I do. He's got purple decked out on that one already. Okay.
One armor that fits you like a... Oh, so great.
Let's get one more pure iron ore thing here. Let's see if that's all we need.
Oh.
Hey, it looks pretty nice. Yeah, I like that. Okay. There we go. All right, let's just go with this. All right.
The best forge in Tier 3D.
He should be pretty well decked out.
Made to order.
What's he got in the way of an old dueling pistol? I thought I had something better than that back at the house. Let's see if we can find him a better pistol.
Oh, it's you, Old
No, it's not me. I'm not the old Nomanawi. see if we have any better pistols in the box. What do we got? Alright, that's a rifle. I don't think he uses rifles, but we've got this old flint revolver. And the old dueling pistol. Alright, let's take a look. Yeah, no. This one's... Alright, this one doesn't have as good a armor damage. This is the same rate of fire, though. It does more physical damage, but not as much armor damage. Alright, I'm still gonna go with that. I don't think even if we fix this up that it would get up 109 points. I mean, it just seems like that's not going to get anywhere close. It's only got a blue upgrade, so we could do a purple upgrade and put some more armor damage on it. But that's... yeah, that's fine. We could just sell these. Oh my. Oh right, we found this one recently and I tried it out and I didn't like it. I liked my pepper box. Even though this does a lot more physical damage and it does stun, I just don't like the way the rifles feel in this game. And this does elemental damage, and we got to upgrade that one. I thought we had already upgraded it. So if we give her this one, she loses the elemental damage, but gains a lot of physical damage. But this is a quality of 100. Okay, yeah, I think we already went over this yesterday.
Desade, I'm happy to see you. Can I do anything for you?
Oh, no, I meant to change my party, not talk to you. Alright, we're going to take him out. We're going to add her for a second. And let's go see the blacksmith. Let's fix up her a silly gun. And sell all these pistols I don't need.
One armor that fits you like a glove. We'll make it for you. Oh.
Alright, dude. I want to sell more stuff. I don't think I need these. I need the gold more than I need this junk.
The best forge! Oh, it's a great...
Okay. Let's fix this up. I could have swore we already did this once. Alright, I need pure iron ore.
One armor that fits you like... Oh.
I think I just need the one, right?
The best... Oh.
There we go. Alright. Yep, I guess we could just do... Let's see what our options are. Right, yeah, I think we already looked at this yesterday. I thought I'd already upgraded this. I love the way that looks. I think it's beautiful. But that's for armor damage. And I don't necessarily want her to do a whole bunch more armor damage. Of course, she's also doing elemental damage. And a massive amount of stun. So, what the hell? Let's get the beautiful engraved one. Yeah, let's go for it. It's pretty, we'll do it. Alright.
The best forge in Tier 3.
Hey, thank you.
Blades, armor, locks, custom pieces, made to order.
Alright. I think we've upgraded Afra and Vasco quite a bit in the past couple days. Hey, Kurt.
Sweet Excellency.
Ooh.
Do you need something?
I just want to hear you say it. He says, "Sweet Excellency," and I'm sitting here with my jam smeared pajamas and my unbrushed hair going, "Yes." That's me. Oh, man.
I must leave you.
Hold down the fort, Kurt. I got some things to do. Alright, we gotta go to Hikmet. Oh, I don't know about that. Well, Petrus is locked in, but he's not really welcome in Hikmet, I think. Because he's with the Ptolemy. Let's see what happens. I'll do a hard save before we go out into the city, just in case. But I think I'm locked in. If you're doing a quest with someone, you're locked into them. You can't swap them out anyway, so... I guess I'm supposed to take him with me into Hikmet. Hope he doesn't start a riot.
Captain who took part in these expeditions is right here on the island.
It is indeed a stroke of luck. I hope he remembers my mother.
Do not worry. If his memory fails him, he may have kept his diary from that time.
Oh, okay. Storm is saying Kurt's a Richard Gere type. That's not who I would have compared him to, but okay. I was never really much of a fan of Richard Gere, even back in the day when he was popular. Is he still popular? I don't know much about him. Where do we need to go here? I would think back to the docks again. Yeah. Are we gonna have to dress up like sailors to get in here again? I hope not. N-O-T, not N-A-U-T. Not this way. Oop, it's auto-saving. Oh, it's this guy. This is the guy that just stood around while his fellow Naut was getting her ass kicked around the corner.
Hello there. My name is Desade. I'm the legate of the merchant congregation.
I am Captain Lissandro. Pleased to meet you. I don't believe I've had the pleasure before. Yet your face seems familiar. How odd.
Do I look like my mother?
What can I do for you?
Admiral Cabral advised me to speak to you about a matter of some concern to me.
The Admiral? Coming from a legate, I should have expected that. So?
You're the only one on this island that can help me.
Really? Oh, I think I understand. That's why your face looked familiar. The congregation is good at keeping its secrets, isn't it? This story is not a new one.
25 years. 25 years since the Nauts brought a woman who was captured on this island to Serene.
I remember.
25 years? I thought you were only 18.
But on that occasion, a child was born.
So you can understand why we'd like to learn where this captive came from.
Yes, yes. I have seen more than a few Nauts looking for their parents. But what have you got to do with all this?
I met that woman in Serene. I got to know her well.
Listen,
what?
It's not that I don't want to help you, but my memory is no longer what it was. I wasn't the captain at the time. I wasn't the one who decided where we moored the ship. So I don't see how I can help you find out where this woman came from.
From one captain to another, if you would allow me.
Yeah, Vasco,
Captain
you jump in
Vasco?
here.
I'm listening.
You said it yourself. A child was born at that particular time. A seaborn. And we always help one of our own.
Very well. I need to look in my old logbooks. I'm sure I'll find something. Wait for me here. I'll be an hour at the most.
Yeah, I wondered about
Here
that.
it is. I found my old logbook. There's a passage in it that would probably interest you. Your mother came from a village on the plains in the southeast of the island. I'm talking about a place where the bones of the whale are visible from the coast. I believe the natives call it Vignamri.
Thank you for this information, Captain.
It's nothing. I'm getting sentimental in my old age. Good luck to you.
So here you are on the verge of discovering your mother's village, of finding your own people. How do you feel?
I don't really know. I'm a little lost, I suppose. All of this is so new to me.
I understand. Mrs. Desade was loving. She raised you with tenderness. And today you learned she is not your real mother. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was going to say, I had kind of wondered about that, because if I'm born on the ship, then I belong to the Nauts, and yet I was... Well, maybe because I was born to a native on the ship, but I think it doesn't matter. I mean, we established at the very beginning of this game that if you're born on the ship, you're seaborn and you belong to the Nauts. But I was raised by the merchant congregation, but my mother was a native. So now I'm curious, like, that's connecting me to 3 different factions. Do I have some connection to the other factions as well? I don't know. I mean, I am, you know, sleeping with Kurt, so there's one connection there to that faction, but I don't know. Like, this is really wild. But we have been to this the shore of the Tall Bones. This was like one of the very first villages we came to. when we left New Serene. This was like one of the first places I visited. I remember that. But I guess we're done here. So let's go back home. Maybe we'll fight some bandits in the alleys. It's getting late. If the music starts playing, dun 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 dun. Oh right, that's a lock-picking chest. Oh no, it looks like the sun is rising. I guess we missed the bandit hour. There's my house. I keep running right past it again. I need a big sign. Desarde's house with an arrow. Hey Kurt, how you doing? Yeah, I think we've already talked to Ulan. Isn't he the one that wanted to make a treaty with Hikmet, with the Bridge Alliance? Is he my dad? Let's go find out. Oh, Storm says, sorry, never mind. Oh, don't worry about it. I don't know, Richard Gere never struck me as being kind of like the rugged, good-looking type. Because I do tend to like the rugged, good-looking type. He was more like kind of a... I don't know, we used to call him metrosexuals or whatever. Like, he was a little bit more, you know, slick. And, because wasn't he also in the Pretty Woman? Was he the guy that was in Pretty Woman? I don't remember. That was way back. But yeah, no, he never really did much for me. I never really liked, back in the 80s and 90s, there were like certain heartthrobs. Like, Richard Gere was really popular for a while. And I'm trying to think who else. Mel Gibson was really popular for a while. Never liked him either. Of course, now we know he's kind of... Woof! I guess he's got some issues. But I never did like him, even back in like the 80s or 90s or whatever. I mean, he was in Mad Max and stuff, and those were cool movies, but never really cared much for him. I'm trying to think who else was popular at the time. I don't really remember. I was just never really that interested in like celebrities and stuff like that. And hunks and like, you know, people's sexiest man or anything like that. I liked Matt Damon for a while. He was alright, but that was like in the 90s. That was later on. I don't even know if I would compare Kurt to Matt Damon either. You don't really get a lot of guys in Hollywood type movies. Like American television and Hollywood movies, you don't get a lot of like really ruggedly good-looking guys because masculinity is kind of unpopular. I don't know. I mean, I'm not trying to be political or anything. I mean, just like literally in general, like it seems like when dudes look really masculine in a movie, they're usually the villain, right? Like if they're bald, if they have scars, if they're hairy, if they're really muscular, like not just like fit, but like really built, they're usually the bad guys. And you know, I don't know, I don't think that's fair, because they usually will have some kind of like pretty boy leading man type, right? Like Chris Evans or something, and like that just doesn't really do much for me. I like that Kurt's got scars all over his face, and he's, you know, he's been through a lot of shit. I like that. I don't like him too pretty. But then, of course, I like Hancock in Fallout 4, and he's definitely not pretty. But that's why I like it. Yeah, Chuck Norris. Yeah, that's another one. Yeah, he did some really cool movies back in the day. But then, woof. Yeah, he kind of, from what I've heard, seemed to kind of go off the deep end. I don't know much about him either, but that's just what I've heard. Oh, Silver Fox retracted a message. I didn't get to see that. I guess you you changed your mind. Alright. Alright, let's go question this leader. Let's see what we can find out about my past. I think this might also be... Yeah, this is an area we haven't been to. There's a boss right here. There's a great big... one of those nature spirit Nadag bosses here that I think I saw real early in the game because I wanted to come out here and investigate this question mark, but then it turned out that it was guarded by this massive boss that I was too low level to take on. So maybe that's going to be part of our quest line here. Maybe he's going to say, well, if you want to know more about your mother, go out here, and then we're going to have to fight this boss. I don't know. But if not, we will definitely go out here and fight the boss. I was trying to avoid fighting the bosses because I felt bad killing all the nature guardians of Tier 4D, but game is what it is, so... Excuse me, Vasco, excuse me. I'm just gonna loot your baskets before we chat. How about that? Be right with you. Be right with you. It's fine. Need to grab this ammo. What you doing with ammo in here? Do you guys use guns? I don't think you do.
To what do I owe the pleasure of your visit?
I recently found out that my mother came from your village.
Your mother was from Vignamri. Now I understand why your face seems so familiar to me.
Indeed. She was captured before my birth and sent to the continent.
She was called Arelwyn. Did you know her?
Of course. Everyone here remembers her kidnapping.
Could you tell me more about that?
I was not the head of the clan back then. It was a very long time ago.
She's not
but I remember the village Denegad. Kidnapped by the people of the sea. All our warriors set off to her rescue. But it was all in vain. Most of them died, including the one she loved.
Oh no!
It was a dark day.
Is that my dad?
In which our village lost its knowledge and strength in one blow.
So my father died too. Do you know if any members of my family are still alive?
Yes. Slan. Your mother's sister. She then became our Donegad. She was never able to match her sister's talent. Too much knowledge had been lost. Relwyn was a renowned healer across all of Tier 4D. Taking her
Can
place
she heal the Malachor?
was not an easy task.
It's not surprising that she was of interest to the congregation. They probably hoped she could help them find a cure for the Malachor. But all alone, far from the island. She was just a young, frightened woman who had lost all her powers.
Do you know where I can find my aunt?
You could try her house, but she's rarely there. She is an elderly woman now, and very much enjoys her own company. She doesn't speak much to me. But others here can probably tell you where to find her.
Thank you, Ulan.
Anything else?
Nothing. I must go.
Wow, okay. Ooh, I'm so excited. We're getting so close.
What do you think of the chief of your village?
He seems quite friendly, compared to the others we've run into.
A bit too friendly, if you ask me. A little too concerned with pleasing the settlers.
And do you think that's a bad thing?
He reminds me of myself when I was younger. And that's not a compliment. My fear is that he serves his own ambition. And this is often done at the expense of others.
That's an interesting little bit of insight there, Petrus. We've dealt with that Ulan guy before. I think, like I said, I think he is the one that wanted an alliance with, he wanted to be allies with the Bridge Alliance. And we set up a meeting. I wonder if he's going to betray the other islanders. Alright, Donegod's abode. Alright, hello?
There's no one here. Let's go and ask the inhabitants of the village if they know where to find her.
The islanders protect their Donegad. I don't know if they'll speak to some Renaigse.
Don't forget, you are one of them after all.
But there was a quest marker right here. I guess that's all we needed to do was come in here and trigger that conversation. Alright. This seems like the person to talk to. You have a quest marker.
Hello.
Renaigse. Do you need help, Renaigse?
Actually, yes. I am looking for the village Donegad.
Oh. And what do you want from her?
Ulan told me that she could help me to find someone.
Ulan must have wanted to play a dirty trick on you. There's no love lost between Ulan and the Donegad. She says that he loves the people from your island too much.
That's what Petrus said.
But Ulan saved our village.
From what?
Anyway, if you want to find
For being
her,
attacked, I think, if I remember
try
correctly.
heading towards the western plains. I am not sure if she is there right now, but she likes going for walks there.
I am extremely grateful.
Okay. Is that it? We don't have to question anyone else? Guess not. Ah, yeah, see? It's leading us out toward this area here. Ah, I suspected. Alright, let's go. We have a camp up here. Take a little rest. Do a little save. Oh yeah, give me that hoof fungus. I need that to make my ammunition. Oh, what's over here? think we've already been back here before. Oh shoot. There's a critter. Is that a cave?
Protect me in this battle! Poison on my blade, and let's go!
There we go. Oh. Yeah, I think we have already been here. Might have had a skill altar or something at some point. And we already got it. Yep, this way. Yep. There's a dead bird that I left behind. There's a dude that I looted. Yep. I didn't kill him. Found him like that. Looted him.
There's a woman over there, surrounded by animals. It looks like she may be in danger.
Let's go and help. It's got to be her.
May the enlightened protect me in this battle. The poison on my blade, and let's go!
How do you feel, madam?
Well, thank you for stepping in. I don't understand what has happened. Usually these animals accept me. Something must have frightened them.
We are glad we arrived at the right time. We would have been very upset if something had happened to you.
Excuse me, but are you Slan, the Donegad of Vignamri?
Yes, that's me. Were you looking for me?
Yes, we were. If you would allow us, we'd like to accompany you and tell our story along the way.
Very well. I will walk by your side.
This is the story we have pieced together.
I just can't believe it. Yet, if I think about it, your face reminds me of hers.
My mother, or better, the woman who raised me, gave me this necklace.
At the beginning of the
gave it to
game.
me, to give to her child, and I passed it on to Mrs. de Sade.
It looks familiar. Your father had given it to your mother when they bound. It's good that you are wearing it today. My poor beloved Arelwyn, who died far away from us all, and divorced Tirce. I still miss her so much.
She wanted me to help her die. But I was unable to do such a thing. Someone would have figured it out. I would have been sent back to Ptolemy, and I would have lost everything. So I watched her suffer. And one day she died.
Petrus, I cannot hold it against you for letting her live.
No, you don't understand. I loved her. I loved her, and I didn't even have the strength to end her suffering. She's the only woman I've ever loved.
Really?
I never would have guessed.
Everyone loved our Elwyn. She was marvelous. You cannot blame yourself, man of the light. What's more, you brought me her child. For that alone, she would forgive you if she were among us. All is well now. The child of Tia Fradi has returned home, and with him, the spirit
You mean her?
of his mother.
Her mother.
You
Her
are
mother.
home, my Duktaram. Welcome.
Petrus, I wanted to thank you.
Thank me? Despite everything you know about me?
You may have been a bit cowardly in the past, to the point of letting the woman you loved suffer. You were manipulative and you lied to everyone, including yourself. But thanks to what you've told me, I've been able to find my family and my origins. And for that, I thank you.
My child. What you're saying touches me more than you can imagine. At least I've done something good, for once in my deceitful life. For you, and for her. I hope the Enlightened will remember this when I stand before him.
Petrus, reputation +3. Petrus is now friendly. Shazam! And I have leveled up to 28. I have a skill point and an attribute point. Oh, wow. Okay. So I had kind of suspected at one point along the way that Petrus would turn out to be my dad. But it turns out that he was just in love with my mother. But apparently my father died trying to rescue my mother. And this is my mother's sister. She's my auntie. My auntie with the tree head. Cool. And this is my mother's village. But Ulan seems to be kind of a shitty leader. What have we got? 1 skill point to spend. And I really have no idea what to spend it on. Devastating kick, I guess? So I can kick people right out of their armor. Sure, why not? And I have an attribute point to spend. So, what do I want? What do I want? What do I want? I've already maxed out accuracy for my firearms and alchemy. We have agility. I could do another agility and increase fury generation and damage inflicted in melee combat. It would also allow me to wield a better sword. Mental power allows me to wear rings, but I'm not doing spells, so that doesn't matter to me. Willpower would allow me to wear better amulets and necklaces, but I don't really think that matters much either because I am not playing as a mage, so I don't need to worry about it. I mean, there are some necklaces I think that will do health generation and stuff, but I think I also have health generation from up here. Endurance. Maybe, or something? I don't know. I thought I had health regen already. I can get strength, which would increase the power of my melee attacks. I could get more agility. Agility is probably better for me than strength if I'm going to go that way because of the build of my character. Strength is more if you're going to be a fighter, I guess. But endurance, I mean, endurance is definitely something fighters would want to have so you could tank it. You get more life and balance and be able to wear heavier armor. But it benefits anyone that wants more life points and more balance. That would be nice. So this is only giving me 10% more physical damage and 1% more fury generation. I'd like to be harder to kill. So I think I'm going to go with that. I don't know. See, I'm laboring over the decision because you just don't get that many attribute points in this game. You don't get one every time you level up. Like, I'm not going to get another one till level 31, so I'm going to have to level up 3 more times before I get another one. Yeah, Silver Fox says, I thought Petrus was your dad. Yeah, that's what I thought too. I thought that's what was going to come out, was like he's the one they like somebody else had captured her and brought her over, but then he was the one that was my dad. But no, apparently, or that was the reason that she came over or something from the island. I don't know. Yeah. But no, I guess like she was already pregnant with me. I was born on the ship, and then he met her after she had gotten to the mainland. I still don't understand though why they kidnapped her. Well, I mean, I guess they said that they thought that she could cure the Malachor, right? Because she was a Donny God, so she was a healer. And I guess they thought that she would be able to do something about the plague. It's a little bit confusing. And there was some kind of mention of it, like, happening 25 years ago. But then I thought that they had said earlier in the game that I was 18 or 19 or something. Maybe I was confused there. But yeah, okay. So I don't know. I wish I had a little more information about what happened to her, though. What happened between her and Petrus, but I don't know. Maybe I don't want a lot of detail there. Okay, so yeah, a question comes down to, do I want agility to do more physical damage and wield maybe a better sword, or do I want more endurance? Well, I've already got the endurance to wear the best armor that I can, so alright, I guess I'll just take the agility, because maybe I'll be able to wield a better sword. A better sword, or being harder to kill and not be able to knock down. Alright, that's it. I'm going for endurance. I want to be harder to kill and be harder to knock down. I'm not that interested in wielding a better sword because I don't usually use my sword a whole lot. I use my bombs and my guns, so let's just make me harder to kill and harder to knock down. How about that? Okay. Okay. I guess that was it with that quest. Nothing else to do there. But what I want to do before we leave... Alright, bye, Auntie. Nice to meet you. What I will do tomorrow, because I'm going to go make dinner right now. What I'm going to do tomorrow is we're going to come back here. And we're going to go up around the corner here, and we're going to fight this boss. I mean, I wasn't ready to fight it when I was like level 2 or 3 or whatever I was, but I think I'm ready to fight it now. I've fought lots of bosses in the game. So let's go find out what this question mark is. We'll fight this boss, but we will do that tomorrow. That will be our big plan for tomorrow. Alright, everybody, thanks so much for hanging out with me. Hope you had a good time. Good to see some new faces and the regulars. Oh, I'm sorry. I see a few comments here. Barbarian King says, Jeff Goldblum, what's your thoughts on him? I did like him. I remember way back before he was, I think it was before he was in Jurassic Park, he was in a movie called Vibes with Cyndi Lauper. And I think he was also in Buckaroo Banzai. And I liked him in those movies. Yeah, I don't know if I had a crush on him. I mean, I kind of, you know, I liked him. I liked him a lot. But I wouldn't say I had a big crush on him. But he did a lot of quirky movies and quirky roles, so I liked him. And now, you know, he's still quirky. Yeah, I still like him. Oh, Barbarian King saying good night all. Storm says farewell. Silver Fox says another great stream. Thank you. Yes, everyone, have a good night. What's left of your Saturday? Have a great Sunday. I will be back tomorrow. We'll go fight a boss. And then maybe do the Knots secret quest, and maybe that will finally get me some points with the Knots. So I look forward to seeing y'all again real soon. Take care of yourselves until next time.